There's a type of person who always has a ready answer when a last-minute invitation comes up. Not today. I'm staying home. Maybe another time. And in the eyes of many, this seems like disinterest, laziness, a lack of social life. But the truth is, most of the time, it has nothing to do with rejecting people. It has to do with conserving energy. Some people don't feel relief when they arrive at a party. They feel relief when they get home, when they close the door, when the noise of the world stays outside. While some are energized by stimulation, conversation, movement, and constant presence, others function in the opposite way. Every social interaction, even a good one, consumes something, not dramatically, but constantly, like an app running in the background that drains your battery without you realizing it. And home isn't isolation. Home is the place where the system finally stops wasting energy trying to adapt. Psychology explains this with something simple: the ideal level of stimulation. Some people need more stimulation to feel alive. Others need less to feel good. It's not shyness. It's not automatic trauma. It's physiology. The nervous system of those who prefer to stay home reacts faster to excess, noise, interruptions, superficial conversations, changes of plans. The body goes into a state of alert even when there is no real danger, not because the person is weak, but because they are more sensitive to the environment. Therefore, staying home isn't about escaping the world, it's about regulating your own internal state. There's also something rarely discussed: the pleasure of control. Outside the home, you negotiate everything: schedule, volume, subject, expectations. You adjust. Inside the home, you don't. You choose the light, the silence, the rhythm, the moment. For more introspective or mentally active people, this control isn't a luxury, it's stability. And it's in this seemingly simple space that a lot happens: deep thought, silent creativity, emotional processing, ideas that don't emerge in noisy environments, solutions that appear when no one is watching. Science has already observed this. People who tolerate solitude well tend to reflect more, create more internal connections, and solve problems more deeply. Staying home isn't about being idle, it's about turning inward. But the world doesn't much like that. Culture celebrates those who are always busy, always away, always living, as if life were synonymous with constant presence somewhere external. But there is a life that happens far from photos, stories, and accepted invitations, a life made of small rituals: coffee in the same cup, the favorite sofa, the time when the house is in total silence. Simple things, but profoundly regulating. The problem is that not all staying at home stems from the same place. For some, it's rest. For others, it's a burden. And this difference changes everything. Staying at home because it nourishes you is one thing. Staying home because the world seems impossible to face is another. And understanding this difference is the first step to understanding what is really behind the love of solitude. There's a very subtle line between choosing to stay home and feeling like you can't go out. On the outside, the behavior may seem the same. On the inside, the experience is completely different. When staying home is a conscious choice, the body relaxes, the mind slows down, time stops pressing. There's a feeling of "I'm exactly where I need to be." Solitude doesn't weigh you down, it organizes you. Silence doesn't threaten, it welcomes you. But when staying home stems from fear, emotional exhaustion, or old wounds, the effect is different. The body doesn't rest, it contracts. The house ceases to be a shelter and gradually begins to feel like a cell too comfortable to leave. In this case, it's not peace, it's freezing. That's why the most important question isn't, do you like staying home? It's how do you feel when you stay home? Psychology draws attention to this because people who prefer low-stimulation environments tend to have a very active inner world. They think a lot, they observe a lot, they feel in layers, and this means that external excess can quickly become mental noise. These people don't need constant stimulation because they are already full of internal content, ideas, memories, connections, reflections. For them, boredom doesn't easily appear. The mind entertains itself. And this scares those who depend on noise to avoid contact with themselves. Perhaps that's why society misinterprets this profile. They call someone who is merely selective antisocial. They call someone who is actually profound apathetic. They call a life that happens almost entirely internally a small life. But there is something powerful in those who know how to be with themselves. These people create more intentional bonds. They choose better where they spend their energy. They don't confuse presence with belonging. They don't need to be everywhere to feel that they exist. They find meaning in invisible rituals, repeating a movie they've already seen 10 times, walking silently around the house at night, thinking about life while the world sleeps. Simple things, but emotionally regulating. This doesn't mean they never go out, that they don't like people, or that they reject connections. It simply means they don't trade their own peace to fit in. When they go willingly. When they stay without guilt. And perhaps that's the central point, guilt. Many people who love staying home have been taught to feel wrong about it, as if they were missing something essential, as if they were living less. But living isn't about accumulating external experiences. It's about being present in one's own experience. People with low stimulation needs don't need the world to distract them. Their inner world is already rich enough. And that's not escapism. It's emotional self-sufficiency. So if you're someone who declines invitations without drama, who feels relief when canceling plans, who prefers a quiet Saturday to a noisy night, perhaps there's nothing to fix about you. Perhaps you just function at a different pace, a different volume, a different depth. The real question isn't whether staying home is right or wrong, it's whether you're hiding from life or finally living in a way that makes sense to you. And when you understand that, something changes. Loneliness stops feeling like absence and becomes a choice. If you recognized yourself here, it's no coincidence. Content like this doesn't speak to everyone. It speaks to those who think deeply, feel deeply, and live from the inside. And if you want to continue understanding parts of yourself that almost no one explains, the next piece of content will touch on exactly that point. You'll know when you click.